Actually, I'll just give a quick intro to the people who don't know what this app is that I'm working on. So the app is called Voice. It's an AI voice studio to help people, content creators, or just people who want to be content creators, right? So there are a lot of people, including myself, who have dreamed that I would like to start a podcast, or like a faceless YouTube channel, or like create an audiobook or something. Because with AI now you can, but then I don't have the voice, or I don't have the confidence to do it. And plus, on top of that, there is just so much work that goes into the pre-prep, the post-prep of building something like that as well. So recording the audio is just one part of it, but then there is like post-editing, adding music, background music, sound effects, and so on. So it takes like days upon days to come up with a final product. So this is where voice comes in. So it is a text to speech engine with a UI on top, to just oversimplify it. And what you get with the app is 54 core voices in 10 languages. So we have American English, British English, Brazilian Portuguese, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Mandarin, and Spanish. But on top of that, like not all these voice may sound that great, so you can tweak them. So on the fly, so we have something called blending a voice. So you can pick two voices. You can pick a main voice that you kind of like, but you would like to change it in ways. It could be the depth of the sound. Say you want to make it lighter, more younger, or more like broader, more mature. So, but you like the style of that voice, the person's voice. So you want to keep that as the primary voice, but then you want to add personality from a different voice. So you pick the voice from the voice selection, and you just pick the other voice that you do like. Let's say, so this is the heart voice, which is the best voice on the platform.
Hello, this is a preview of your custom voice blend. How does it sound?
Can you guys hear this voice?
Yep.
Okay, good. Because sometimes I have to share different settings to be able to hear that. So, okay, so when you add another voice to it, it takes the characteristics and blends them up in this ratio that you want to choose.
Hello, this is a preview of your custom voice blend. How does it sound? Hello, this is a preview of your custom voice blend. How does it sound?
So you can mix and match, not just two, like more than two. You can just keep going, go nuts. But yeah, generally the good mix is 2 to 3 voices. But then you can also morph a voice. You can bring in a voice sample and just pick the voice from there, and it would match the voice closest to it. It's not voice cloning because you need legal consent to do that. So I'm not doing that at this stage, at least. So apart from that, this thing actually started from me as like a side project. Wasn't a side project either. It was just out of requirement that I'm partially dyslexic, and I go through a fair bit of content, but I cannot read the whole content. So I have to always convert it to text and listen it. I've been doing that since high school. The text to speech back then was awful, but there were still ways. So I was able to do that through the softwares that were available back then. So coming back to the main application, oops, let's go back. Okay, sure, thank you. So I have zoomed in. So I have up to 150% zoom built into the app as well. So I can zoom in, zoom out, similar to how the browser zooming works. So is this a bit more readable now?
Yeah, now it's okay now.
Okay, cool. Awesome, thanks. So yeah, so it all started from here. So I needed to convert articles into voice that I could just listen. And I built this module, and then I've got 2 toddlers, and I kept adding modules to create podcasts and like storybooks. audio storybooks for my kids, and then just one thing led to another, and I ended up building something that I could just maybe turn into product. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so this is the listening module. I won't take too much time on this. So basically, you provide a text, or you can just use a file, text, markdown, PDF, pretty much all kinds of text files are supported. Or you can just pass a URL like a blog post or something, and it just extracts all the like content from that post. And then you can just go and pick a voice. Pick a voice that you like. You can do all sorts of enhancements to it. Like you can add pauses to sentences to refine the voice to not be too robotic, add emotional variation by increasing the emphasis level, and so on, and adding crossfades between the two paragraphs and so on. So pretty powerful sort of enhancement features already built into this thing. But you can also paste markdown content, because I've been working with AI so much. Everything is in markdown now. So I built a markdown stripper. So it just strips down all the sort of fancy like special characters for formatting. So you would see that on screen, but they would not go through the text-to-speech processing. But behind the scene, like there is a lot of pre-prep going on. So like numbers, phone numbers, years, dollar amounts. So they get pre-processed and get converted into proper sounding words instead of reading them as, for example, like 1984 would be said as, by normal text-to-speech engines, it would be read as 1968. So in this software, like it reads as 1968 instead. So a lot of fine-grained tuning happens on the background. But then I've got projects. So you can choose between the projects, podcasts, audiobooks, YouTubes, and documentaries. So they are essentially the same thing, but kind of like the UI is more optimized towards like the outcome of it. So for example, a podcast would have episodes that you would do like maybe one a day or once a week or once a month or so. So this is the project view. You have the main script editor, you have the timeline editor at the bottom here, and the speakers. So the software supports multi-speakers. So you can essentially have like more than one speaker at a time. So similar to how an actual podcast would be. So for example, an interview podcast would have at least two speakers, a host and a guest. And, like there are several other kinds of podcasts that could be made. Like, so I think Claude Code is just going to trigger it. No, it doesn't like it. npm run build. So this project is written in Tauri. So Tauri is a desktop application framework that uses React for front end and Rust for its backend. So it's extremely fast when the code is compiled, and very lightweight and memory efficient as well. Excuse me. So we'll see our app pop up. I've just spin up the dev server now. Feel free to ask questions as they come to mind. I don't mind. Nope. Cool.
I've just got a question then. Why'd you go with maybe for the others? Like, why? I know you said Rust is fast and everything.
Yep.
But it goes against, like, say, normal applications are MERN or not TypeScript based. So, what was the decision with Rust then?
Okay, so it wasn't really a decision with Rust, to be honest. So I wanted to create a desktop application because the business idea I had for sustainability was that I wanted to target local models and build this thing so I could reach common people, right? So the biggest bottleneck at the moment for people to use anything with AI is the ongoing AI build, right? So with this application, it runs 100% offline. So the text-to-speech models, the music generation models, and the speech-to-text models are downloaded to your own computer the first time the app is launched. And from there on, like all these things, they can you can turn off the internet and you can just keep cranking out audio. So the AI assistant is a complement to this whole audio production life cycle, that to automate things even further, right? Like writing scripts, helping you choose voices and so on, and just kind of like understanding how things work with the app itself. So for that, I have also built integration with local LLM models. If your hardware can run them, then you can just use that. So at the moment, so if I go into settings, so there, so you can run local models. So this is the build application. So you can run and set up local models. So there are two ways to run and connect local models, Olama and LM Studio. Both are compatible. So currently I'm running Olama on my machine, as you can see up here. And what I can do is I can connect to Olama, and it would pull all the models that are downloaded on my machine, and you can just pick any of them. Like I'll pick the GPTOSS 20B model, name it 20B, and continue. And this would add a config for that model to be used. So you can have like multiple settings for different LLMs if you want. Similarly, I have currently integrated Google OAuth, but they have a lot of sort of requirements for me to be able to use it. So I'm most likely going to drop it. But you can connect using OpenRouter, which supports nearly every LLM that is out there. So, okay, so because I've got server running, please kill port 3000. So I'm generally just talking. I have stopped coding myself. It's been a while. So, okay. Sorry, it's happening off screen, so you couldn't see that. Basically, I was just asking Claude to kill the port 3000 for me. So OpenRouter only supports port 3000 for the local desktop applications for the OAuth flow. So that's why we need this. Okay, it's oops, AI is an example, but let's say NASA. So it would most of the text-to-speech engines would read NASA instead of NASA. So you can just quickly go add here NASA. So we want it to be called as NASA instead of NASA. So it would then read NASA correctly. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's try. Oh, yeah, okay. So that was like a stale build. So I can try that again now. I'll generate the audio. And
welcome to our podcast. Today we're discussing the future of artificial intelligence. Thanks for having me. It's an exciting topic to explore.
So it pretty much goes through segment by segment. You can zoom into the timeline like another audio editing softwares. Then you can also do is you can rearrange them in position. So if you want the audio to overlap, like in a podcast, there's an argument or like someone kind of interrupts another person. So it's not very linear. So you can do that. And
welcome to our podcast. Today we're discussing the future of artificial intelligence. Thanks for having me. It's an
okay, I think it was not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a fresh session. This is okay. So this is building. So this is an ongoing session I have. So I was building a team of AI agents to help me with the go-to-market process. So I'll cover this very briefly soon. What I'm going to do is with Claude Code, you can rename a session so you can get back to it later. So GTM team. Yeah, and now I can just close it and start a new session. So I have aliases built. So CLD is for Claude to run in dangerously no permissions required. So I work that way. So if I go Claude, CLA, so if I go Claude, then I would do a lot of hand holding every step. So it would ask me to read this file. Can I read this? Can I write that? Like it gets really annoying when you are building something, and especially when you're building like multiple things simultaneously. So you just have to keep switching between team. Like, is it even working, or it stopped on something asking for permission? So I have been using dangerously skip permissions flag for nearly 5 months. I know it is risky, but yeah, that's that's how and what works for me at the moment. So I'm gonna kill this and go dangerously skip permissions. Hopefully, the demo gods are not happy, but it won't delete my hard drive today. Okay. Anyway, so it also gives you your weekly limit usage. So as you can see, I'm on the max plan. So this is one of my 2 max plans. So I split between them. So I manage them that one ends midweek and the other one ends on the weekend. So I could use the usage from both of them. Okay, so we've started this session. So I have custom commands set up. When I go slash, you can see I have quite a lot of custom slash commands. They're not only for development, but also for business strategy, like brainstorming, building landing pages, sales funnels, and so on. So I'll go over these later. But
Can
what
I
I
ask
want, sorry,
can I ask just a quick question?
yes, please.
With those commands, they're skills, correct?
That's so. Let me make this bigger. Is this visible?
Mhm.
So with Claude Code, you have the .claude folder, and within the .claude folder, you can have custom specialized subagents. I only have one for this. Then you can have commands. So commands are actually prompts. So I generally use the start here command with a fresh session. So this is just an instruction to Claude when it's starting a fresh session that, hey, this is the product, this is the project, what is it about, where are the main folders located and what they are for. And this is the main instruction here is launch multiple export agents, explore agents in different parts of the application to understand the project structure, as well as build a rich context. So what this does is, because AI agents or AI in general has a limited context window, like with Claude, it's always 200,000 tokens. So what they've done is they've created these built-in native agents. So when I go agent, so let me show you agents. So you can create new specialized agents using the agent /agent built-in command that comes with Claude Code. But these are the built-in agents. So it has explore agent, a plan agent. Now they've just added a Claude Code guide. So if you're building, if you're dog fooding, so like if you're building a product that uses Claude Code to build Claude Code, so that is a guide that it would refer to that, hey, because it knows it's Claude Code, but it doesn't kind of know what its capabilities are. So this gives it a reference that it's like a documentation that it just pulls in to refresh its memory. But then I have these other specialized agents through plugins that get kicked in for various parts of the application. Okay, so going back is, so I have commands defined that vary from project to project. So for documentation, Git commands, pull requests, integration with payments and stuff like that. So anything that I'm prompting the agent repeatedly, I just turn it into a command. So it is just a prompt that you can access by hitting /. And if I go start, then it is start here and it says explore. So if you have a description for this prompt / command, then it would show you here, like this one here. So if I look at one of these, so it uses YAML front meta to like kind of provide descriptions and things. You can mention the model it can use for when running this command dynamically, or any like limitations. You can restrict it to be only read only, and it could run bash commands. So you can do a lot of customization based on what that particular command needs to be to either restrict or allow Claude to do to perform that operation for you. So I'll quickly show this sub-agent as well. So sub-agents are basically, it's like a kind of gist of like what JavaScript terms. So I don't write the code, but I do review the code. I can generally understand what the code is doing in like nearly all languages, maybe not in like Perl or anything like that. But yeah, Rust is very readable language. So I think that is also like part of your question, Stania.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, wow, it's already that much time now. So
They are the best in the class. Why would I go on another one, for example? Yeah.
yeah, that's an excellent question, actually. So it was more from my preference. But yeah, like I totally hear from a user perspective, this could be very confusing, right? Like, why would you need more than one AI model, right? So the one thing I could think off top of my head is not every model is good at writing. So like if you're building a podcast story, or if you're writing an audiobook, for example, so like a Claude agent might, a Claude model might be much better. But if you are doing, you're writing a script for YouTube background, voiceover, a Gemini model might be more like responsive around that. So that could be one use case. But yeah, like it was mainly, this thing came out mainly for me trying a lot of models on a daily basis, so that I could experiment with a lot of models, see which one performs better over the other. But I do totally hear. And the other thing was the kind of vision for this app is to be to enable a person to run AI locally 100%. Like in future, I'm planning that I'm going to train a custom small model for this application that will just live within it. And you should be able to create development memories and gotchas. So as I progress through, when I come across an issue that might be persistent and it might just come back. So I add a memory to it. I basically ask Claude to add a memory to it. So that way, this document is always within Claude's context window. So if I go and check context, so there is a command called context. It shows you exactly what is in Claude's context. So this session currently has all this in its current context. So the model that we're using, it's got the system prompt, which is 3,300 tokens. The tools that it has, MCP. I'm surprised I have an MCP because I don't use them anymore. Custom agent definitions, memory files. So the memory files are these. That's the Claude.md file. And okay, so while it's doing this, what I'm going to show, because this could take a little bit of time. Oops. Okay, it's done. So normally what I do is with things like this, I go through the plan it's created. So it's gathered information that there is this GitHub repository that is 40 gigabytes. Wow. Okay. We don't want that many. I was thinking more like 100 background music and maybe 100 of the sound effects, just to get like people started, and then figure out later. Okay, so these are the resources. So it's got this and estimated sizes. It's already on top of it. So it's got 50 tracks from here, 100, 100, 100, and that would add up all up somewhere around 200 megabytes, which is not too bad. Okay, so this is what it suggests for the UI. Why a new tab? Okay, so it's suggesting a new tab now. Consistent UI, UX, contextual. Okay, that's good. This is sort of a mock-up that how it would look and should look. So it's got the title there, import. These are tabs. Okay, built-in library, a search, and okay, filters, category, and mood. Yeah, that's good. And then music, sound effects. This is going to be the code structure. And this is going to be the kind of the JSON object for it to pull through. Yeah, metadata. Yeah, okay, looks good. All right, that looks good. Let's start the implementation systematically. All right, so over the last few months, what I have built is a whole system from going from an idea, validating it like partially, but mostly accurately, even without going and interviewing people. And then like doing competitive intelligence, developing personas on what the users could be. So it's essentially kind of like a sort of formula for building an idea into product, but then taking it from there to market and just working on SEO and generating content that doesn't feel and look like AI generated, building landing pages, what else? Doing autonomous outreach as well. So there was a thing called Claude Skills that was introduced back in November. And what it did was, context is the biggest problem for any AI agent in the world, right? So agents could not be effective with the right information or skill. And although they have the whole world's knowledge kind of ingested into them, but they cannot focus very narrowly. So generally, you provide them documentation and things like that, but that fills up their context window, kind of sets the mindset for Claude on what not to do and what to do as a general principle. This gets injected. And for skills, what Claude does is when it comes across a thought process that is defined in this description, that, you know, if it's working on a front end side of things, then it would actually pull this skill. So production grade front end interfaces, that's skip distributional convergence. So it is not a sure shot thing at the moment. It is fairly new. So not every single time it would load a skill. So the best thing is you can say, hey, can you load the front end design skill before you start thinking about this? So then it goes and loads the skill first. And then it builds that mindset that, okay, so these are the sort of design principles that I need to follow, see design thinking framework. So it has these extreme aesthetics. So it's kind of like building a mindset on what different things might mean if the user is requesting. And then on top of this, I have my own design system built that I load after this. So skills get pulled at runtime dynamically. So Claude decides to read the skill.md file, but then the skill.md file can have references to other detailed documents. So generally it's at the end. So references. So there's a reference folder, and it defines that, okay, so font pairing, if you want to go dig deep into font pairing, curated color schemes, and so on. So then it would bring in those documents into his memory and then read through those to be more precise. So that's how you create a skill. You can pretty much create skill for anything or anyone. I'll show you. So this is a way that you could kind of compress knowledge and learnings from anything and turn it into a skill. And then Claude would dynamically load it as you go. Like, for instance, it loaded this brainstorming skill here without me telling it that it needs to do that. So it just, it thought that we are brainstorming this solution right now. So this thing, I tell you, this thing can go for hours, for depending on the complexity of what you're building. One of my other projects, the brainstorming session, I just extracted it. It was 30,000 lines of lines actually. So I keep this session for later reference. So I could say, hey, this is what we decided in brainstorming. Can you please read that and then bring that to plan? Because it forgets, like it's AI agent, it's got memory worse than a goldfish. It just forgets. So this thing is gold. I never add to skills. So this is like a brief introduction to skill. I can talk for hours on skills. Do you have any questions? I'll go to the skills I'm building.
It's good, but I guess what I've seen is the websites that you build, they're kind of consistent. They had a consistent layout, like was like the workflow OS, this website, and I think your own website. It follows a similar pattern. Yes, if you see it, it has a very consistent pattern. It has like a good heading. Everything is center aligned, and the assets are quite coherent and whatnot. I guess I know that about the skills and in Claude, but I guess I was just imagining that you have some sort of knowledge base that Claude has, like the context to be like, okay, this is the style that I want to build. I just switch colors and elements.
Yeah. So
well, maybe not.
No, it is actually. So I went through that with Strahinia in my last session. Okay, so if we get to the UI part of this, I would show you. So it's mostly prompting. So you build your mindset about what kind of design system and styling you need. It's part of my workflow. So before I start anything, I build a whole design system so that we could, all I have to then say is, hey, please make sure you follow the design system so that everything is consistent. So it pulls in the design system every single time, and then it is consistent across different things. I'm not saying that it doesn't mess up, it does, but then you just nudge it, say, hey, this is not aligned to our design philosophy. Could you please check the design system and then just fix it? And it is pretty good at doing that then. So
okay, so for example, for the landing page of this page that you have, it wasn't like a simple prompt that, okay, based on what you know, just build the landing page. It wasn't like that, right? It was, I imagine it was a lot of hand holding, a lot of baby steps.
So, okay, so I built this landing page, not just, so the landing page, so you need to create one asset, right? So you have to have one piece that it could reference to. So when I started with this, so I built the whole thing in less than a day, the whole landing page, along with all the feature pages. So there are multiple feature pages as well as the use cases. So, but once you have one concrete finalized page, then it doesn't take long, especially with Claude Code, because it can spin up multiple agents at the same time with that instruction. So once I had this page done, I had to say, hey, I want you to take these, where's the features? I had the features. Yeah, this is the features, right? So my prompt would be very specific, like in kind of LLM language. So I have been told by my wife that I talk like LLM now these days. But yeah, it's all up to your prompt, to be honest. Like once I had this finalized, so I had to say, hey, for all these features, I want dedicated feature pages that explain and elaborate all these features, but not based on hypothesis, but based on the actual functionality that we have implemented. So then it
Right.
doesn't just build your feature, but it actually reads the code base to understand that first, and then goes and defines the features. So it does that first. So it'll kick off the explore agents to get the idea of the code base. And then based on that, it would form prompts, and it would spin up like 6 agents for, in this case, with a specific prompt on the design aesthetics, and then they would deliver consistent results.
Right.
So, and the crazy part was I bought this illustration like whole set, right, a while back, and I always wanted to use it. So I gave Claude access to it, that this is the library I have, and I want you to examine each asset and then meaningfully build this style inspired by Notion for me. And I had to do a bit of hand holding, and there was a lot of prompt engineering there, but like the outcome was, I think, pretty good, I would say. And I don't know if you guys have seen this thing here. So I wanted to build like a demo, but not a video demo. So this thing is written in HTML. It looks like a video, but you can actually interact with it. So like you can open up the assistant, move it to the side, change the theming. You can scroll through, read the text and everything. So it doesn't provide you the whole functionality, but it gives you a way to kind of play with the UI, what it feels like and such. So I have the 4 different project types. So it's that what I've tried to do is like create a workflow starting from the home screen, like what would you do and how would it feel like doing the steps, and try to recreate that in code. So this experimentation was like 8 hours of work. But yeah, like I got a good outcome through it. So like it's using the AI, but I can just move it to the side to be able to read the script better. But because it's animated walkthrough, it goes through, but you can pause and you can rewind at any time. Like if you want to inspect this, you can just do that and create project. That works too. So, and then you can restart. You can, I think you can type. No, you cannot type. Okay. So anything, because I have tremendously failed multiple times doing that. The things that I liked as a developer and the habits and principles I built over time, if you use that, you fail miserably, and you are consistently fighting with AI on correcting it all the time. So what worked for me is a flat structure. Things are like consistently separate from each other meaningfully, but the whole website, the Next.js website, is in the web folder. I have a whole documentation site, which is built with WordPress. The source code of the Tauri application is in the SRC and SRC Tauri, because the Tauri main project follows a flat structure as well. So although it might look messy to a senior developer with years of experience, this thing works like a charm. Like Claude doesn't have to sort of do extra effort to be able to navigate or figure out that structure as part of what it wants to actually do. So yeah, so what I've done is like picking up tech stack. I did like a 3-day interview with Claude building a whole list of things that it likes to work with. And I just picked the ones that were the best technologies and built my tech stack around it. And that gave me the most success. Like I didn't have to tell things as long as I had like a good skill build. It was able to just do magic in a way. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but yeah, like this thing really helped to not bring in all those principles. Like I have built in all the linting tests, everything. So the whole workflow does check for linting errors, type errors, and everything, and it fixes as part of the task. But it is what Claude prefers. Like I wanted to use Biome, but it's very new. Claude is not familiar with it. It struggles with it. So I'm still using Predia and ESLint because it is trained on it. So yeah, I've wasted a lot of time with latest and greatest stuff that I wanted to use. But yeah, it works much better if Claude wants to do that. Yes, please, Ali.
Sorry, just to understand, did you mention monorepo? You couldn't make it work with monorepo. Is that what you're saying?
It's not 100% true. So I saw more failure with monorepos than a flat structure. So with monorepo, when it spins up agents that are not Opus 4.5, they would create files and folders at odd times in like random places. That just breaks things, and then you lose all that work because sometimes they'll just put it in the root temporary folder and things like that. So when the structure is flat, the outcome is more consistent. Like agents don't get that much confused. That's been my experience, and it's been like paying off really well.
So are you running the agents from different folders or from the root folder?
Root folder, always root folder. I do sometimes do, I do work in Git work trees. So I have, for all experimentation stuff, I build, I spin up agent and I have it create a Git work tree. And then it works in the Git work tree. So these are like active work trees I'm working on. So so then the agent is spun up in this folder so that it doesn't go and mess up in the actual project.
That's interesting that monorepo, it messes the project, but...
Well, as I said, not 100%. So if I show you another project that is a monorepo. So this is a huge project. So this is a monorepo. So this is a B2B, like for example, for the landing page, I had I want illustrations. I have a pack that I want you to sort of navigate and map out, create like a sort of metadata, JSON metadata for which illustration could be good for which part of the sort of landing page. Once you build the copy for the landing page, and then it becomes like kind of like a second brain for it that, okay, so these decisions are already taken. So makes it super simple. So, okay, yeah, toast message. Yeah, that looks good. I just wanted to kick off the development. So once it's done the brainstorming, it would convert the brainstorming session to a solid plan and write it to the disk like this. So I have a designated doc/plan, and that's where it would do. And see, it's also got what not to do. So not included is Yagni, favorite system recently used and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, that's good. Looks good. Let's go. So now what it would do is save this plan to file, and then it would start implementing the plan after I say looks good. After I have validated the plan and I say, hey, okay, that looks good, let's implement. So there's one more confirmation it needs from me before it kicks off. Okay, I can see we've only got 6 minutes left. I can see the plan's already been written. I can just pull it here. So it's got the goals, asset strategy, UI design. So see, this is part of the design, right, Ali? So not only just the backend API, it would create like a scaffold UI. So it knows exactly how it should look. This would not come out perfect, but it would be 90% there. So the final touches would be me going through, hey, this has like weird colors in it, or like this, the typography doesn't match a design system. So can you fix it? And then it would pull in my design from idea all the way to building the product, and then taking it to market. So there are skills that I have created that are not just skills. So I have spent hours upon hours on these. So they actually embark upon the expertise of industry experts. So I've got 3 researching skills, 3 product skills, 9 marketing, and 5 business skills in my kind of pack that I use generally. So for example, the research skill for customer discovery process, so when to use, the domain experts, it has sort of gathered intelligence from. So I went through the books they had, the public sort of teachings, blogs, YouTube videos. So I ingested them all into a set of vectorized data set. And then from that, I've created these skills with resources. So these are the experts that we have sort of ingested the learnings from, whatever their public data is. And like these are the frameworks that are sort of compressed within this skill. So when it pulls in a customer discovery process, so it's like these experts kind of guiding Claude that, hey, this is the right thing to do when we're doing this. Okay, so see, Claude is making updates to it. And it kind of goes through there. So let me pull this in. So this is like a mind map I use for skills that, okay, so I've got these research skills, and so when to use and how are these sort of related skills and what do they do? So like the customer delivery process informs the feature specs and the MVP roadmap planning, and the PRD document kind of extends these sort of things. So this is kind of like my mindset and sort of my process, what I do, and gather those pain points and then fit into your idea that, hey, if you're looking to build this, these products already do this and they're pretty good, but people are complaining about these things that these products are not fixing. So if you want to kind of focus on that and build your product around that, so this could be a good fit. Then it does like business intelligence on top of that. And then it kicks off the feature specs. So it goes through like the technical details, what features are we building in sort of a Scrum way. So we define in a Scrum way all features. As a user, I need this. As a like owner, I need this. As an invited member, I need this, and so on. So this whole thing becomes like super easy to build. But what I've done is I have actually this whole system I've built into Claude Code. So here, this one here. So basically, what this is, it's like a .claude folder. And I created this as a 2-part scenarios because like this application voice, I didn't do the market research because I did not really intend to build this. This came out of the app that I have put together that I was using myself. And I just kept adding features because I wanted them. And then I thought, hey, this could be useful, because when I showed to a few people, they were like, wow, okay, so I could use this. My kid could use this. And then I thought, hey, like I could just package this into an app. And that's what I did. I asked Claude to just pull all the code from that app and build this professional app that is actually purposed for these use cases. So what I did was I created 2 scenarios, idea first and product first. So I use product first for voice is because I've already built the product. Now I need to take it to market. So I've got timelines. So you do like a product assessment, market fit, and find your market, kind of thing. So these are the Claude Code commands that kind of trigger these whole processes within Claude Code itself. And as you go through these things, it creates like documentation for you. So like if I go here for voice and I go through like business documentation here. So this was very much inspired by Alex Hermosi's $100 million money model book that I bought. So I built the whole strategy around it. So like this covers, once the app is completed, this covers the beta testers onboarding, my sales copies, my video sales letter, AppSumo launch that I'm planning in a couple of weeks, the email sequence architecture that I need to build for the autoresponder, my ad creative package. So that is the advertisement assets and things like that. My landing page blueprint. So Ali, this was used, my landing page blueprint was used to create the copy for the landing page, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
The design part was my intuition that I wanted Notion inspired, clean design, so that it is easy for the users to understand, because I understand very easily and clearly when there are like pictures, because I'm partially dyslexic. So this is like a whole framework that I've built. Sorry guys, I've gone 3 minutes over. I'll wrap it up, and I think I didn't leave much time for questions. Please fire through. Any questions? So just before we close, let's have a look what Claude has already built. Is a built-in library. Let's see if it plays. Okay, it's not playing right now. Okay, it's still working on it. So it's not complete, but this is how it would kind of look. You can add it, and you can do like a kind of preview for the music. You can see Claude building in the background here. But yeah, so this is like my automated workflow that I've built. So like I can just keep cranking features in time that, like, you know, from idea to like concept working feature, it takes like a couple of hours. I think I did that in a previous session with Strahini as well. We built a couple of features and fixed a few bugs as well. But yeah, I think I'll conclude here, and thank you so much, you guys, for coming and joining and hearing my BS. Cool.
I think it was a great one. Oh, sorry, Warren. You want to go?
No, I was just saying cool.
Yeah, sorry. I think it was a really great one. I hope this plan works, and I cannot wait to steal your plan and follow your footsteps if possible, maybe someday.
Yeah. You know, just reach out if you need help, and I'm always keen to brainstorm ideas.
I think it's great. One suggestion I came up with is, I don't know if you're open to, but I've seen a lot of Twitter accounts doing live demo as you're doing, like what you did today, but more extended, like everyday updates of what I'm building.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. So I have considered, and it is part of my marketing plan as well. So because this was not an intended product, right? So my main product that I'm working on is the B2B2B platform for voice AI agents. And this thing just kind of made its way in. So I thought, hey, you know, like I'm going to build this thing, and like I'm documenting everything. And I built this framework, right, that I was showing, and the indicate. So I'm thinking maybe I could create like a product around that too. So I would have a working case study of not only how I built it, but a whole system on how it can be reproduced, but then taking it to market, like building all the stuff, or everything agentically. But yeah, like I missed this. I should have where is it? Yep, here. So see, this is going to be my cockpit for Claude managing everything, like AppSumo, JVZoo, support, content, email, every strategy. So I'm working on this. So it works with Claude Code right now, but I'm trying to build like a dashboard from where I could just operate the whole thing. So I'll have like a scheduler calendar for content and releases and things like that. And Claude would have access to all the different things, and it would. So I've got a daemon process running that works through for calendars and triggers Claude agents when they're scheduled to. So this is going to be part of automating the whole journey. I only started this, and
I think
the meeting.
Yeah, I think the more updates you post and the more people know about this, I have a feeling the more success you get. I mean, you mentioned the market research and the sort of void.
Cool. All right, guys, I'll conclude it here. Thank you so much for joining today, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you,
Have a great one, guys.